enjoy playing in these sort of conditions today, wouldn't you?
I reckon these are perfect conditions for football. The ground is still firm, it's holding, there's no mud about, and you know that you're going to get a true bounce because the ball skids through most of the time if there's a little bit of wetness on the ground.
Well, we'll soon know. As I said, the players warming up, and down on the ground level, John Casey for the Mitsubishi Motors Ground Report. Good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, Robbo. Good afternoon to everyone back in Adelaide. As you can see, conditions could be better, but we're still in store for a great game. The current temperature is 14 degrees, and that is in fact our estimated maximum, so we can expect it'll get cooler rather than warmer here. The forecast is for cloudy with a few showers. As you've mentioned, we did have some rain and it's just starting to stop now, which is good news. The ground is in good condition and any wind is blowing towards the scoreboard end, although at this stage I don't think that it'll be worth any more than just the 1 or 2 goals.
OK, John, while you're at it, do you fancy the Adelaide Crows? I know after last Saturday night they were very impressive, but you'd be a tough man to go against them today, wouldn't you, I think?
Well, the MCG is a happy hunting ground for the Adelaide Crows. Their win over Richmond here last year was their first ever in Victoria, and Richmond have never beaten the Crows, although the Crows have beaten them twice. Last week they kicked their biggest score for the year, and Richmond do have the worst defensive record in the league. So on those matters, that tips my way toward the Crows.
And earlier in the season, the Adelaide Crows defeated Richmond at Football Park by 34 points. And Don Scott and Tim Watson, your selections, please.
Well, I'm going for Adelaide. After last week's performance, they were very, very good. They were fired up. I think they got a lot of adverse publicity through the week in their hometown, and that really spurred them on. But you never know in this game, do you?
Well, you never know. I came to this ground yesterday expecting that we'd see a pretty tight tussle between Hawthorn and Essendon, and as everyone knows now, it was a very one-sided affair. I'd expect that the Adelaide Crows would do a little bit better than Richmond. Richmond have been a little bit disappointing this season, and the Adelaide Crows really have started to find some form since they've had a few of their big guns come back over the last month.
And on interchange, I can see one Richmond player, that's David Honeybun. He was named in the ruck. Andrew Pays and Bruce Lindner, they're the interchange for Adelaide.
So we're about to start the game here at the MCG. Richmond playing host to the Adelaide Crows. Both sides looking to salvage something from what has been relatively poor seasons. An opportunity for McDermott, and maybe slipped as he was about to gather the ball, but he's been awarded a free kick just forward of the centre circle. His kick is a good one into the right forward pocket region. It's punched away by the strong Richmond defence. Here comes Tregenza, who was an excellent player last Saturday night. Now Matthew Knights for Richmond. A kick to a vacant wing area, bounces over the boundary line on the full, so the free kick will be taken down here in front of us for Adelaide by Scott Lee.
So it was a poor kick, that, Robbo. He had plenty of time then, didn't he? He had a bit of space out in front of his teammate and going over the line on the full.
And a disappointment for Craig Lambert, who we've mentioned hasn't taken his place in the Richmond side. He was to play his 100th game today, so that'll be at least a week away for Craig Lambert. The kick by Wren, up to right half forward. Opportunity now for Richmond to get clear through McQueen. His kick off the ground, it's picked off by Lee. Just playing the ball in front of himself, in front of Naish, and it's forced over for a boundary throw-in.
Well, both sides really just testing themselves out at the moment. Esler and Wren, not much. He's probably the biggest man in the competition. Esler in front. Naish, Lee, nobody can really get it out, and that's nice. You got thumped by McGuinness in the back. Yes, the umpires picked that up. That's against Tony McGuinness. Matthew Knights to take the kick. Not much movement up forward. It's a rather congested forward line, and that's all he can do, Knights, is go high, hoping. Ben Hart there, he was great last week. Jamison. Can't afford to do that. That ground's a little slippery, as you can see. Hart playing well up, obviously playing in the half forward line, named there. This looks good as they're combining Liptak and McGuinness. Tackled by Liptak, a little slow. Now the open goal, it's Hart. Can he put it through? He has the first.
Nobody knows music 7. That is a world record and an Olympic record. Nobody knows music 7.
Fantastic run, time okay.
Nobody knows music 7.
Bounce there was was a pretty ordinary one, favoured Wren, and Adelaide get the ball up towards centre-half forward again. Bickley, but look at McGuinness. He'll nearly pop this one through. He kicks it very low. That could have nearly been a mark paid there to Hogg. And I did hear of quite a strong rumour last night that Jeff Hogg may be playing one of his last games with Richmond. Let's hope he stays with the Tigers. A strong message that Collingwood are very keen on Hogg's chances of playing over there next year. The ball forced up towards the wing. It's Turner. His handball goes further back to Campbell. Campbell's kick up towards centre wing. Maynard can't control it. And Maynard appealing for the free kick, but it's going to Richmond.
See, there wasn't much in that.
And it'll be taken out there by Lennon. Bruce Lennon, who I've seen play quite well for Richmond. Punched away quite easily by Smart, taken by Jamison, in turn to Wiedemann, who has taken his place in the team. The player not able to play today was Rouvray, and a big punch there by Liptak. Well, it was punched out of bounds, but a free kick has been picked out of it, and it's going to be taken by McQueen for the Tigers.
And that really is one of the greyest areas of the game, that isn't a player going back, putting pressure on before the boat's gone for the mark.
Maynard. Liptak once again. There's that quick handball by Jarman. McDermott combining. Well down off half back is Wiedemann. Kept his eye on the ball. McQueen in there. Free. Esler. Now they're going to try and run it. Knights. This is Maxfield. A long ball in towards full forward. Behind is Keys. Just can't bring it down there. Smart. Tough work in there. Desperate work. Again, the umpire will have to come in and restart play.
Sorry then for Maxfield who kicked that ball. He's waiting for Keys to move and lead into this pocket, but Keys didn't. Elected to go back towards the goal, and all he could do was slip the ball up in the end.
Scott Turner in front. This is running Richmond's way. Knights. He's only got a left foot. There he goes. Back over the right shoulder. Into the square. Wren, a big mark. Maybe should have punched it on that occasion. Bickley. Hard. Well smothered by Richmond. This is Livingston's got a chance, but under a lot of pressure. Good play by McGuinness. Number 9 is Wayne Campbell, and he picks up a lot of possessions.
That was terrific pressure then by the Richmond forwards, making it very difficult for the Adelaide Crows to get that ball out of the defence.
And Turner doing the ruck work, but it's knocked down by Wren. Opportunity for Knights, taken by Turner. Quick kick by that player into the pocket. Up high was Bickley. There to help out is Ben Hart. Hand pass, Bickley in trouble. Handy tackle by Livingston, and Scott Lee gives away a rush behind to the Tigers.
Tim, did I see a throw by Knights?
It was very, very close to a throw. I was just watching Ben Hart then, a little bit of inexperience going back into play then when he turned and handballing off to an opponent. He really should have headed back around towards the boundary line. And
only 17 years of age, Ben Hart, but we predict a big future. The mark taken from the kick in by Wiedemann. Jackson, the player on the mark, and Wiedemann, a rugged customer. He kicks it back near the centre, but an uncontested mark taken for Richmond by Campbell. The player on the mark there is Jamison. Keys the lead. Campbell goes to the right forward pocket area. The mark is taken by Esler. He plays on quickly from outside 50 metres. Kicks close to the line. Smart and Jackson, but it registers a behind to the Tigers.
And Adelaide Crows working very hard then to get back into the defence and plug up all the holes.
Tregenza. Half back. A little bit of movement down the field. Out the centre wing he goes. Oh, what a leap. That was a great leap by Jamison. Did a couple of those last week. And he's hurt that Richmond player. McQueen, ball centre half forward. Oh, smart play by Modra. Micken just not quite quick enough to get there as his opposite number 25 in Gale relieves for Richmond. Nobody out there, no man's land. Maynard, who really does run well down off that half back line. Hart, free in pursuit. Off the ground, free goes. Wren's got time to do what he likes. Jarman, McDermott, now they should go long, but in turn, he goes short, McDermott, and finds Micken. Maybe good play in hindsight, because now Mark Micken is only some 35-40 metres from goal.
A competition maybe between Brendan Gale and Michael Gale as to who can grow their hair the longest.
I wish I could. Or had enough to grow long, I should say, as Micken puts this ball on its way. Is this the second for Adelaide?
So back to the centre. umpires today, Murray Bird and Peter Carey. Big crunch of players there. McDermott attempted kick, it rebounds back towards Scott. He can't do much with the football. It goes wide where Jamison leads in the race for the ball. Good shepherding by Liptak. Jamison goes back to Bickley. Bickley's little handball to McDermott. Good tap on. It's in that left forward pocket. Hodges combines with Jarman. Jarman and Modra. Gee, the pass was good. It was well controlled by Andrew Jarman, and Modra marks on his chest about 30 metres from goal on a very tight angle. This young man kicked a bagful last Saturday night. Showed lots of promise. That kick looks pretty good. It's a lovely kick by Modra. A goal. 3 goals to Adelaide and just 2 behinds to the Tigers. Adelaide by 16 points.
Yes, I think we're going to hear a lot more about this young fella Modra. He's an exciting young player, got a tremendous leap on him, and I think once he starts to get a little bit more consistency in his game, he's going to be a terrific player for a long time for Adelaide Crows.
Back in the centre, Isla fell pretty heavily after getting that hit out. There he goes down again the last time, but he fell on his side. He looks as if he's recovered because that centre is very, very hard. Maynard has the ball stolen, and this is free on the break. Centre wing is free, and turn goes long towards centre half forward. And that's good play by Scott Lee in front of Naish. Lee playing on a wing last week, now up in the back line. McDermott to Hart. I'm impressed with this young fellow. All I do is sing his plaudits. Hart. Nobody really wants it. You can see they're using the body. Esler and really should have gone in as Tregenza goes goalward, but it's gone right across the face of the major sticks and through for a point. Simon Tregenza.
Gee, Esler a bit stiff there that he couldn't take the football away, and once it slips out of your hands, Tim, gee, you could pay the penalty, can't you?
Yes, you can. I thought Don called it right there. No one really did want it.
Kick in marked by Gale. Hand pass goes away to Campbell, who's had quite a few touches already in this match. His kick to right half forward. Bickley under a little bit of pressure from Livingston. Away goes Ross, tackled, but Bickley was there to give him a hand out again. And that's what football's all about, teamwork. Jamison, Scott Lee trying to make a path for Bickley, who's run all the way up from the back pocket. McGuinness to McDermott. Again, a familiar tone. McDermott's kicking towards centre half forward, and it is a Crows mark taken by Maynard. And Richmond certainly will have to man up a little bit better if they're to have a chance in this match. Already Adelaide have kicked 3 goals, 1, and the Tigers are just 2 behind Maynard the chance to kick the Adelaide Crows' 4th goal. He's kicking from 40 metres. Maynard, a floating kick, and it looks pretty good from here.
There's a star south of the as you and me, looking out for our state, that's guaranteed.
The Crows know a bargain when they see one, like Cotty's Cordials 2 litres for just $2.19. Reach toothbrushes a great buy at $2.49, Trusty dog food a crazy 79 cents, and clean up with Spree laundry powder $2.99.
Yes, I really do shop at Food Lane.
The mighty South Aussies, yeah.
Well, they're off to a good start, Adelaide. Hold the lead by 23 points as Tregenza gets it across to Jarman. In turn looks for Liptak, goes over his head, but Modra on the lead. This is Free coming in. He'll be happy to see it over the boundary line. You always knew what his intent was going to be, whether it was deliberate. Well, the umpire makes a ruling on that, and on that occasion he said no. Ty Esler, his father played for Dandenong in the VFA. He's been around at Richmond for a long time, the big fellow. Again, the ball over the boundary line, more or less the same position from which it was thrown before. The former Carlton player, Ian Herman.
Yes, and I was actually tagged by him on a couple of times. He's not a bad player, Ian Herman.
Knights, that was a great hit out, but going to Matthew Knights. Ball beats everybody. Can Scott Turner get on it? Well done, Scott, as he puts it into that forward pocket. Stephen Jackson, a man blessed with a lot of talent, can do what he wishes on occasions. His first game, if my memory serves me correctly, was against the Brisbane Bears up at Carrara, and with his first kick in football, I think he kicked the goal.
Yes, well, and once again we've seen one of the problems of the Richmond side when they go into attack. Twice they've directed the ball to Chris Nace, probably the smallest player on their forward line.
And pride of the Tiger at stake here, I feel, this afternoon. They really do have to make a commitment, Richmond. I can see a bad defeat staring them in the face unless they really man up. The ball is 50 metres from the Richmond goal. Ruckman, Wren, tapped away by Turner, picked up by Smart. His kick has been marked by Essler, and he did well. Kicks it directly towards goal, but it's marked by Scott Lee. No, he didn't go over the mark. Richmond supporters appealing there for a play-on decision, but Lee, now a short kick, finds Wren. He's a very good player. Away to Bickley, and Bickley has been one of the Crows' most consistent players for the season. Nearly taken by Micken. Jarman, Gale, now the chances with Richmond. Scott, his sweeping hand pass finds Free. Free kicks to a vacant wing area, and was he interfered with as he kicked the ball or after he kicked the ball? It will have to come back. And Tim, can you adjudicate on that? Sometimes it's played down the field, sometimes it's brought back to where the kick's taken from.
No, I can't actually, Robbo. I'm a little bit, we talk about the grey areas of the game. This play-on rule is one of the grey areas of the game.
Well, that kick goes in towards the centre. The chance there is for Richmond through Honeybun. Now it's Lee. Lee's kick back towards the centre of the ground. Gale's in good position, and he marks in front of Micken.
Brendan Gale, right shoulder strapped, as you can see from that shot. Goes to the half-forward flank. Scott Turner, the mark. Can't find it, but there it is, behind. I think it surprised everybody, including himself. That's Stephen Jackson, former West Coast player. And he is in kicking distance.
He's a very clever player, isn't he?
He is, but
he just doesn't put it together often enough.
Whether you question his application, I don't know. But 55 metres from goal. Goes to the top and it drops. Now there's an object lesson for anybody playing football. Play in front, and Scott Lee has not been caught behind at all today. He's playing exceptionally well on Naish. That's Richmond's Nathan Bauer, brother of Brendan Bauer, who's now at Essendon, number 22. There's Rodney Maynard, half back this time. He's already kicked a goal, goes to half forward. Well done, Mark Micken. Can it run for Liptak? No, it can't. Free will clean up for Richmond in that back pocket. Changes direction of play. Going out wide, looking for Campbell. Campbell's giving his man the slip in. Jamison along the ground. It goes, the ball. And players content to see that over. Maybe that's on the full. Just unfortunate, that ruling. That's Livingston who just got a foot to it. And now Maynard on the break goes towards centre half forward.
And most impressed with Bickley's ability to read that. Through comes Hogg. Hogg's kick into the centre. Out comes Lee. Unfortunate for him. That bouncing ball, very awkward. Ross. Lee goes back. Tackle is by Turner on McDermott.
And that's a perfect example about the Richmond players. One went for the ball and four of them peeled off straight away. Now, when you're a good side, you have two or three going for the ball, and then you start to peel off once you've gained possession of the ball.
Well, Turner has the football. He's too far out to score. He again goes for the torpedo punt kick. It drops in short. Wren has a free kick. It's going to Bremen. And Bremen remonstrating with the player who kicked the ball.
I was going to say it before when Jackson kicked the ball. They're kicking these mongrel torps into their forward line. They're giving their forwards no chance at all to take a mark.
Well, wouldn't you think that that would be a basic request from the coaching staff?
Well, I would have thought so, yes.
The kick is by Bremen, and he's missed to the right-hand side, and that's a shocking miss when your opportunities are few and far between.
Obviously, Tim, you've never got onto a torpedo because it's just a beautiful feeling.
It is a beautiful feeling, but I reckon you should reserve that feeling for training nights, Don.
The kick in goes straight down the ground. Essler doing a good job on Wren. Through comes Knights, who is a prolific possession gatherer for the Tigers. His kick to half forward, no mark taken. Turner, a good fist towards goal. Excellent play, but it didn't work. Hart, helped out by Wiedemann. Is the advantage rule being paid? Yes, Wiedemann tries to tap on the ground. It's going to prove costly. No, free kick against Turner, and it will go to Wiedemann. Wayne Wiedemann, you're a very fortunate young man.
Now the rain's falling here at the MCG. Make the players' job a little more difficult. Tregenza quickly across to McDermott, who really under a lot of pressure as he got that kick, but well done by Liptak. A good kick too, and Modron a good lead. That was a classical piece of play. their skill level starting to improve, the Crows.
Yes, especially Liptak. There's a lot of criticism levelled at him last year with his disposal, but he's been a wonderful player this season, and one of the areas he has improved is his disposal.
I suppose that comes with getting adjusted to the state of play, or the quickness of play. As Modra goes goalward, it looks pretty... No, he's hit the top of that post. Tony Modra kicked 7 goals last week. Very accurate kicking. That's his first point in 2 weeks. 7 straight goals. And Hogg will bring the ball back in for Richmond. A high ball, punch from behind. It's running now Richmond's way. That's Campbell trying to set something up. Maxwell. Liptak. Now Tregenza centre. He'll be tackled. He is. Well done by Brennan. Knight's underneath it. Liptak trying valiantly to get there. Does so on the second occasion. Hart, you're caught. Well done. McDermott in there. Very congested, and the umpire's picked a free kick, and it's going the Crows' way. McDermott, the recipient.
And Chris McDermott, a tremendous leader for the Adelaide Crows. His kick into the left forward pocket. The lead is by Modra. Up high, couldn't quite grasp it. Kick off the ground by Wren was not bad, to his own advantage, but Free quickly in there for the Tigers and rushes the ball over for a boundary throw-in. Tony Free playing in the back pocket for the Tigers. Essler and Micken doing the ruck work. Essler being caught in a pushing and shoving match. Now a chance for Herman. His kick was slightly smothered. The ball is out to half-back where Wren gets it away to Jamison. He's a lovely kick, Jamison. Oh, what a beautiful kick by Jamison.
And Murray Bird, the umpire in charge, giving the free kick. Peter Carey's the other umpire today. The MCG is Maxwell. Goes to centre half forward with that kick. Jackson on the lead, just can't control it. Lee, smart. A little bit ambitious trying to get that hand pass along the line to a teammate.
I think the result was exactly what he wanted.
I was just going to say, I think he's quite content to see it over the boundary line now. It's Wiedemann, strong play. Nash putting that tackle on. There's McDermott. And there's number 37, a number made famous here by another Richmond ruckman in the 60s, Mike Green. Across to McQueen. Adelaide have got the numbers. Richmond can't do anything except Nash. Then he sold Ross into trouble. You see a scramble. Well done, Scott Lee, to at least keep the ball moving. But the umpire's going to bring it down and bounce it down. Bring it back and bounce it down.
That was good play then by Jackson a moment ago, just to make a crumb in the forward line rather than letting the Adelaide player take the mark.
Well, the bounce is in that left forward pocket region. Jackson trying to crash his way through, but the Adelaide defence quite tight at the moment. Richmond have kicked 3 behinds. 2 long shots, 1 rushed. So the Crows defence doing well. Turner forced to do the ruck work. Kicked out by Bickley, not all that far. This time it's fairly effective, out past the 50-metre line. Chance here for Liptak. Goes back to McDermott. McDermott, who has already had probably 10 possessions in this first quarter. There's a good effort. And the mark has been paid to Scott right on centre wing. He hand passes the ball away to Maxfield. Maxfield's kick is high, up towards 50 metres. A free kick. Certainly a free kick there to Richmond to be taken by young Turner. Geez, a boy on a man's errand. Scott Turner having to do the ruck work, but that kick was all right. Into the pocket. Keys, the lead was good, the pass was good, but geez, in a very difficult position now to try and kick a goal.
Yes, and since this new stand's been built, it tends to push the air out from there, so it'll be interesting to see whether the ball does move away from goal.
Keys makes the angle just a little simpler, but he can't do much with it. And he kicks it right across the face. It's out on the full. So the free kick to be taken for Adelaide back there by Wren.
Wren, back pocket. Short kick, half-back flank he goes with it. That was Campbell. Quick hit. I don't think that was his mark. He just put it up hoping. And now Nash is in front of Lee. Lee has been leading him to the ball, but he started to pick up his work rate recently. Nash. And now he's got a chance. Richmond haven't scored a major yet. 3 points. 32, playing 3 as Chris Nash. Close to the man on the mark. He's put it to the right-hand side of the big sticks. He has. And that's Richmond's 4th behind.
He did run very close then to the man on the mark and put him off in the end. But it's good to see that he started to play in front and that ball dropping short into his lap.
So Ben Hart will kick the ball back into play for Adelaide. He comes to the near side, looks here for Jamieson. Good hands. The mark has been paid. The appeal there was by Nathan Bauer, but the umpire electing to pay the mark.
Bad marking by Richmond because he was there by himself for a long time, Jamieson.
Tregenza takes the mark on centre wing. His kick up near the 50-metre line for Adelaide. No mark taken. Scott can't get clear. In there to help out as Knights. Couldn't quite grasp it at his first attempt, but then his kick goes up towards the half-forward line. Well done, Jackson. A big man in front is going to always make it difficult for his opponent. Jackson's kick into the forward area. And an excellent mark taken by Turner in front of Ross.
Doing well, Turner.
Well, he's got tremendous determination, Scott Turner. And over the past few weeks, has kicked quite a few goals for the Tigers, but today being asked to do the ruck work.
He's moved around a long way too.
Originally down at Collingwood, then he went back to Ararat, then to Melbourne, back to Ararat, now he's at Richmond. Scott Turner. Lee giving chase. Naish in front once again, endeavours to bring it back, but having that ball smothered. Good harassment by the Crows players, the defenders.
And the Crows forcing Richmond very wide when they go forward.
Bremen in there, number 14, but Jackson will do the ruck work with Wren. Oh, that was a bit soft. Anyway, it's McDermott who has it. Wren got the free kick. It was against Jackson, obviously, for holding him out. And there's Ross taking a good kick. His father played for St Kilda, Jonathan Ross, in the late 50s. Had about a dozen games down there. This is Ben Hart. Oh, well done. Modra is his target, but Hogg's behind. Hogg just couldn't quite get it on the first attempt, but does so on the second and punches it over the line. Play on the 50-metre line, right forward flank for the Crows.
And you just have to keep your feet in today's football, don't you? Terry Keys then losing his footing.
I'd take a punt, Tim, and put Hogg down the other end and Keys at full back. Huh?
It's amazing, isn't it? Kevin Butler got a lot of criticism for playing Hogg at full back. Now he's at full back again.
He's a potentially 100-goal-a-year full forward, though.
Wren. This is Bickley, who's done well. We talked about Liptak's disposal. Bickley's also picked his up. Giving a lot of dash off that half-back line. As you see in there, break. Oh, well done, Mark Bickley. Centre half forward, he goes with that ball. Hart in front, has it punched away by Free. Jamieson, he could kick this. He's 55 metres out. There's holding. It should be a free kick to Hogg. Yes, Peter Carey saw it. He's going to go Hogg's way. It's against Modra.
Well picked there, Don, and Tony Modra. Just a little disappointed, but it was fairly obvious.
You see the umpires sharing a joke. Sorry to cut across your end, but right. You don't see that too often. They're so serious.
Might have something to do with his haircut, I think.
What, the joke or his mood?
The kick goes out towards half-back. It's taken by Bauer. Bauer's kick is pretty good in a tight situation. And the mark is taken there for Richmond by Lennon. His hand pass goes over the top to Maxfield. Maxfield's kick into the pocket again. Very awkward to score from there. And Lee puts pressure on Terry Keys, forcing a boundary throw in the left forward pocket.
Well, that was it again, Robbo, going way into this forward pocket here when they should be trying to open up the goals, open up their forward line and direct the ball back into the corridor.
So a bit of discipline may be needed. Scott Turner, a little kick off the ground. He tried it from the ruck contest, didn't quite succeed. He's at it again. Well done. At least he's having a bit of a dip up there, Scott Turner. The kick goes back by Bickley. Andrew Jarman, Essler. Hand pass there was by Naish. Now the ball forced back towards the centre wing area, and McQueen can't quite control the football. So we'll have a boundary throw in the left half forward flank. 5-2 to 4 points and just under a minute left in the first quarter.
Esler, who's trying particularly hard. Well done, son. Not overawed by the occasion. He's a big man, isn't he? Ty Esler. Came up through the under-19s reserves. Kui Rupp, which is down in the Gippsland area of Victoria. Big fist that time. Nash in front now. He's leading Scott Lee to the ball. There's Wiedemann. McDermott will run onto it, but just can't trap it. He'll go back after it and endeavour to get a hand pass away, but heavy tackling in there. Wren. It's a feature of the day's play, or football today, the harassment of players as the siren goes here at the MCG, and we see Adelaide holding commanding lead, 5-2-32. Richmond, 4 straight points.
Well, at quarter time, a 28-point advantage to Adelaide, and they did it fairly easily, 5-2 to 4 behinds. The goal kickers all singles, so the Crows well in control at quarter time here at the MCG. Don't forget the Barcelona Olympics will be returning to Barcelona for further live coverage of the games following today's football, and the games are in full swing with many finals being decided later on today. And down on the boundary line, John Casey, were you able to glean any information from Graham Corns or Alan Jeans?
Yes, thanks, Robbo. Coach Graham Corns very happy with that start. He said there's no denying that they did well in the first quarter. He still was critical of their conversion rate, though. He said the ball coming into the forward line could have been delivered just a little bit better. He said they shouldn't be singling out Daryl Hart, looking for him with a long ball. They should be going to the taller men like Micken or Maynard, and Daryl Hart should be scouting those packs to kick the goals. They only have one injury problem, Sean Wren, who took a knock on his thigh. He has had problems in the past, but they assure me that he's okay. Alan Jeans, well, he said it was fundamental errors that had cost Richmond their spot here in the first quarter. He said they didn't use the ball well enough, and he hopes that will improve in the second term.
Yes, well, they did very well, Richmond. They had quite a few possessions, and they've made it fairly competitive with the possessions anyway. But the other game, Carlton leading quite comfortably. They've had 10 scoring shots to 4. They lead by 11 points. And the game about to start here, the second term, at quarter time, the possessions 53 kicks to 49. Well, we'll have a look now, Don, at the first quarter statistics.
Yes, there's not much you can get out of that except handballs in favour of the Adelaide side. You can see there they've doubled the number of those by Richmond.
Yes, the mark's very even, but Richmond have had possessions. They've gone wide trying to get the ball into their forward line, and they really do need to be a lot more direct in this second quarter.
So away we go with the second term. The Crows leading by 28 points. Wren gets the first tap down. Knights overruns it. McQueen is there for Richmond. His kick high will bounce quite nicely for Scott Turner. Runs up towards 50 metres. Kicks for goal into the full forward area, and Jackson marks. He makes things look so straightforward, Stephen Jackson.
Yeah, you can see there Nigel Smart talking with the umpire. What do you think he's saying, Tim?
I think he's saying that he's given me one in the jaw. But that was just a test of strength on that occasion.
Well, Jackson has the chance to post the Tigers' first goal, and gathering by a few comments from their fans, a badly needed one, and he puts it through. So Stephen Jackson kicks Richmond's first goal very early in the second quarter. Adelaide still lead by 22 points.
That was good play then by Turner, who has been a good player. He's battled hard in the first quarter, running, taking the game on, and kicking the ball long to the 10-yard square. And one out, Jackson will probably beat most fellas in the AFL. So if they can get the ball down to him quickly, Richmond have a real chance in this game.
And Richmond look as though they've made a change, Don. Maybe Gale at centre-half forward for the Tigers. He did start at centre-half back.
That's right. Murray Bird, the Queensland umpire, restarts play. Jarman, well done. It's a high ball. He's putting it out wide, hoping. There's Honeybun, who started on interchange. Gets his kick. Mainly plays as a ruckman, and that was a good kick by Honeybun.
That's been the change. Honeybun has come onto the ground, and he's gone to pick up Micken. And Micken, who was picked up in the first quarter by Gale. Gale's gone into the forward line.
Esler and Wren. There's Esler getting that fist to it and really not directing the ball.
Tim, how do you feel about forwards? I mean, we spoke about Hogg in the first quarter. Surely you must have to win a game. You don't save, do you? You put your best players on the forward line?
Well, it depends. I think that I haven't watched the Richmond side play very often this year, but obviously they haven't been kicking the ball into the forward line very well either, so they're just trying to construct some other setup in their side with having Hogg back there at full back.
And that was Bickley sending it once again, very high. It doesn't help the forwards when the ball's delivered in that manner. And Honeybun will relieve for Richmond. Out wide he goes. There's Scott Turner. Was at centre half forward. Now seems to be playing as a midfield. And he's a much improved player. A little slow for full back. And then across to Knights. Knights directing the ball to centre half forward. That was Gale, the target, but there's Smart. Got a great leap. And I suppose that's why they play him there, because he overcomes his lack of inches with a great leap, Smart. Knights once again getting it out. That's a good kick by Richmond by Bauer under the situation, but he's only scored a point. It's Nathan Bauer.
He looks a lot like his brother Brendan Bauer, doesn't he?
Yes, most assuredly, as Ben Hart prepares to kick it back into play for Adelaide. Adelaide lead 5-2 to 1-5. That short kick has been marked by McDermott. He had 11 possessions in the first quarter. Just may have nearly messed that up. But Bickley there to give Hart and McDermott a hand. The kick goes back near the centre of the ground. Nearly gathered by Lennon. Now Campbell. In turn to Maxfield. Then Bremen. Bremen's kick is good. Oh no, Terry Keys missed the sitter. Scott Lee over to McDermott, who works all over the ground. Just a fraction slow. Campbell. Hand pass to Essler. Essler's kick into the pocket. Surely they'll mark this one. They will. It's Chris Naish. And he's well within scoring distance.
And Terry Keys was lining that goal up before he'd even taken the mark, wasn't he?
Yes, you could see his mind ticking over, and a disappointed man, because possessions in football are not all that easy to come by. Naish, his kick goes across the face, marking contest. Jackson, not paid, nearly got his foot to the ball. Gale nearly did. Wren, handball over the top. Ben Hart, pushed over the line by Keys. And maybe Richmond...
I think they've picked up their work rate a bit. Yes, I think they have. Halfway during that first quarter, I felt that they started to attack the ball.
Wren could have gone through, and maybe better advised to go through the point post to at least get it out of the scoring zone, or Richmond's scoring zone, because it is still in there. It's a live ball.
Yes, I thought that perhaps he should have done that too. Just stepped over the line.
Great minds think alike, don't they?
I don't want to be compared to you.
Wren and Essler. Gale, he's got a chance. Can he bring it back? Not quite far enough. You can see that disgust on his face. He thought he should have kicked that. Not easy to kick from there on your non-dominant foot. And that's his first score for the game. Scott Lee, a half-back. Into the centre he goes. Lip tack behind on that occasion. Should have been penalised. Jarman, will he set it off with a hand pass? No, it's a kick. Honeybun, well done, David Honeybun. Now they'll run it out, Richmond. That's Bauer once again. Scott Lee in front. Bauer following up. That's good play. There's a little bit of urgency in that Richmond team now.
Yes, he attacked the ball very well then. And Richmond were outnumbered at the ball. They needed to get something out of that, otherwise the Crows were well on their way again.
Kick goes into the right half forward area. Gale, well, bit of aerial work there by Brendan Gale, and he has marked, and I would suggest could nearly kick the distance from here. He's going to have to kick it 50 metres plus. The man standing on the mark is about 45 metres from goal, but Brendan Gale, and he gets hold of a drop punt kick. It goes very close to the line. It's punched away by the Adelaide defence, back towards Brendan Gale. McGuinness, who's been well controlled by Herman. Tony McGuinness only had 3 possessions in the first quarter, and he's up around 30 possessions a game. So Ian Herman has done a pretty good job on the Adelaide Crows small player.
So frustrating having a tag week after week.
Essler doing well in front of Wren. Knocks the ball back towards the boundary line, so the boundary umpire will have to do it all over again.
And Wiedemann has gone on to Gale, and Bickley is now picking up Bremen, who Wiedemann played on in the first quarter.
See there, strength by the big fellows. Wren just gets a fist to it. Bauer, left foot it goes, smothered off the boot. That was Tregenza trying to break through. Well done, big fella, but you see, like slow motion replays, he endeavoured to get that kick. And the ball has not hit the scoring zone at all. In fact, it's a free kick. That's going the Crows' way. Smart. Kicker on that occasion was Bauer.
You can really see the confidence of the Tigers. It's down nearly at rock bottom, isn't it? You know, the players, when they do get possession, they're really not certain about what they're going to endeavour to do.
Yes, they are struggling in that area, but they've picked up their work rate in this quarter.
Turner high, couldn't quite control it. Now Hart, well tackled. Maxfield did a good job, and that's what happens. The kick goes astray. It's kicked back by McQueen. Back towards centre half forward. Scott Lee there, ever reliable. Kicks the ball back towards the wing. But taking the mark for Richmond is Bauer. McGuinness overzealous in minding the mark. Allows Bauer to run on. Now he kicks long. Within scoring distance for the Tigers. Nearly the mark there to Bremen. Wiedemann well tackled.
Actually, I felt that might have been a free kick to Bremen. Then he was held by Bickley as he went to that ball. Perhaps a little bit unlucky not to get that one.
And the umpire forced to bounce about 30 metres from the Richmond goal. The kick is by Herman. It may bounce through. It'll be helped through anyway by Campbell, and he kicks the goal.
And getting the break of the Crows through Jamison. Good running by McGuinness. Lays it off to Liptak and turn punches it on. Honeybun coming through and cutting it out, but Liptak follows up. Is this the 6th? No, it's not. In fact, it is the 3rd point for the Crows. The scoring indefinitely right of screen. 7 goals have been kicked down there. It's Hogg bringing it right out. Honeybun in front. There's Maynard on the half-forward line. McDermott, that was a great hand pass by Maynard. Another point. McDermott the kicker.
14 possessions to Chris McDermott. 12 kicks and 2 hand passes. Hogg kicks it back in towards the centre of the ground. It's punched back towards half-forward. Darryl Hart, handball. McDermott off to McGuinness. McGuinness's kick. Offline.
So you'd normally put that one down for a goal, wouldn't you, with Tony McGuinness running in there on his left foot. Getting it. Maybe he was a little bit surprised to have that breathing space. Ian Herman nowhere in sight. He'd been led up the ground to pick up another opponent.
17 points, the advantage for the Crows. Hogg's kick to the far side. Micken tapped on by Lennon. Liptak, now Maynard. Always looks as though he's got plenty of time. Maynard, kick towards full forward, punched away by Hogg, goes back towards the goal line. Kick off the ground there by Modra, went close. Helped over in the finish by McQueen for a rush behind to the Adelaide Crows. So the behinds are level and Adelaide lead by 3 goals. Hogg again. Well, he's had 3 or 4 of these opportunities in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Oh, good mark. Well done by the big fellow, Esler. And he marks at half-back for the Tigers.
He's been a real battler in this game.
My word, and with a little bit more exposure, could become a better player. Scott Turner in front of Wiedemann. There's that quick handball by Jarman. That's Campbell running onto it from Richmond. Pursuit is Wiedemann. Manages to get him. There's well done by Jarman. Oh, terrific play. The overlap. McGuinness and McDermott combining. Hogg using the body to get Modra out of the way. Now Liptak running on it, but it's Modra who's got a chance. Another point. A wry smile from Tony Modra.
So that bounce put him right back in the play there. I thought it was a poor kick by McGuinness. He kicked it to the favoured side of the Richmond defender.
1 goal to Modra has kicked today. Well done. That was Honeybun, I think, trying to tap it on. You don't see too many players endeavouring to do that. And the free kick's going Jarman's way, right on the point of the square. Looking for Modra, but in front, Hogg. Should be a free kick, yes, he's picked that up. Modra, I fancied a couple of times last week, does like to play from behind. It looks a better player when he is in front.
The kick by Hogg goes out to half-back. It's picked up by Tregenza with pace. Approaches the 50-metre line. He's forced to kick it high into the goal square. Modra at the back. Hogg in front. And it's bashed away by Tony Free in front of Darryl Hart, and it's out of bounds in that left forward pocket for Adelaide.
What do you think of Modra behind when he's against a tall opponent, Tim, like Hogg?
Well, I think Modra is a type of forward who likes to take the big grab, and I think that's one of the improvements he needs to make in his game. He's got to be more of a leading player.
Micken tries to take it out of the ruck contest. Chance for Maynard. The kick goes off the side of his boot. It's beaten. No, not marked by Hodges. Surely not a mark. Come on, fire.
He must have held that for all of a split second. He's been quiet too. He's been well held by Scott.
Well, we'll have another look, Tim.
No, maybe for around the shoulder.
Well, it was soft, and Hodges has a chance to kick a goal, and he makes no mistake.
In the commercial break, we saw Modra going off the ground. Replacement up at full forward is Scott Hodges. Sesler getting it down. Was that a throw? It was pretty quick anyway, but at least the ball's moving. Crow's way. Lindner. Mercurial Lindner across to Liptak. Liptak looking for Hodges. That's a good lead by Hodges, but just doesn't find its mark. Well cut out. Oh, that's terrific play there by number 10. That's Alistair Scott. Bauer in front. Done well in this second quarter, Bauer. Pushing the back, surely. No, throwing.
Oh, he was lucky he wasn't penalised for that.
Yes, it was very doubtful there. It was a great play then by Scott to burst out from defence. Lindner has replaced Modra's gone to the half-forward flank, and that's enabled Hodges to go back there at full forward.
Ball centre wing, Jarman cutting it out with one hand, just couldn't control it. That's Knights once again trying to set it up. Jarman, very quick with his hands. Ball finding a pack. Maynard in front, keeps his eye on the ball. He always does, actually, Rodney Maynard. That's McQueen cutting out. And a diving mark by Esler. Ty Esler, the big fellow who's acquitted himself well.
It's good concentration.
Hand pass away to Matthew Knights. The kick goes up towards right half forward for the Tigers, but punched away quite straightforwardly by the Crows defence, and a boundary throw-in will take place. 6-7 plays 2-6. And the mark or free kick or whatever it was paid to Scott Hodges certainly can dampen the enthusiasm of the young Richmond players. Scott Lee kicks it back near the centre of the ground. It's punched away there by Honeybun. Chance for Knights to run onto it, but the big fellow laboured after it. Matthew Knights is there. Hand pass. Here's a chance now for Richmond. It's Herman. Herman's kick. Good centering kick. Gale, perhaps a little too far for him. Back goes Jamison. Handball to Lee, who fumbled. Jamison again, Gale the tackler, but he got the hand pass away to Bickley. Bickley to Wiedemann. Wiedemann nearly caught there by Bremen. Shrugged the tackle and then kicks the ball long. Up towards half forward. Running onto it, Liptak. He is a good player, Liptak. Just took a little too long. Hand pass away to Micken. Then to Lindner. Lindner's kick to the goal square. Falling over was Hodges.
That's
and a
free kick, yes, it's too high. The second goal coming from a round-the-neck decision. You can see there, it's very quick.
He was falling over before Hogg had
Very technical, that one, Don.
The other was technical too, but at least the umpire, I suppose, is consistent.
Well, Hodges kicks the goal. It's his second.
Back in the centre. Doubtful free kick. Scott Hodges. 49 playing 18 here at the MCG. Richmond mounted a bit of a challenge, but the Crows certainly have come back. Well done by Scott Turner to come off the front edge of that square and tackle McDermott. Jarman in turn going straight down the centre. Hodges, oh, well done. Well done. You can see there, just read it a little bit different, better than what Hogg did. And Hogg was really caught, I suppose, in no man's land.
Yes, he was, and I think that Scott Hodges really is a full forward. He struggles anywhere else on that forward line. He does know how to play the full forward position.
2 goals last week playing half forward flank. Hodges. That time he's missed it. No, he hasn't. That's his third. Three of them have come in the second quarter. And Adelaide 8-7-55. Richmond 2-6-18.
Adelaide Crows answering the challenge from the Richmond side. Richmond started this quarter all pumped up, but they're almost deflated now as we've seen the Adelaide Crows kick the last 3 goals.
Well, I don't want to harp on it, Tim, but it's all happened since that pathetic free kick or mark given to Hodges where he kicked his first goal. And it just can change the youngsters' attitude to the game very, very quickly. Adelaide forced the ball up to the centre-half forward position. Maynard, Honeybun, now Knights has got a chance. Little hand pass underneath Jarman. The kick forward was by Maxfield. And Brendan Gale, I've never seen him play football like this. He's been a very good player for Richmond, but he just seems to be completely out of sorts. And he biffs Ross as Ross kicks the ball back, and now the kick is down the ground and it certainly will be against Brendan Gale, and the free kick will be taken for the Crows on centre wing. Micken it is for Adelaide. A good kick by Mark Micken, well inside 50 metres. Hogg punches from Hodges, picked up by Liptak. Liptak shot for goal is a wonderful kick by Matthew Liptak.
Big fella's at it once again. Second time it's Wren. Herman in there, McDermott. Lee Coe, Scott Turner coming in, laying that heavy bump on McDermott. Jarman through the legs of McGuinness. Maxfield overrunning it. Really nobody can get it out. It's a hot ball. Finally going Richmond's way, but in front Lee. Just in battle between these two, Naish and Lee. I'd say honours fairly even. Lee started well.
Lee slaughtering him.
And then Naish got on top a little bit.
Naish had 2 kicks, Donny.
He started playing in front, which I like. Then Lindner.
That's a free kick.
It's going Richmond's way. That's against the Crows, and Spree will take it half-back.
Oh, terrible error. Now they're under pressure on the 50-metre line. McGuinness, handball to Daryl Hart. He loves kicking goals, Daryl Hart. And he makes no mistake from that range. So Daryl Hart kicks his second goal, and Adelaide 10-7, 67. All of a sudden, the margin is out to 39 points. The Tigers lamenting on 2-6-18.
Yes, and that all occurring from Tony Free trying to handball to a player who really wasn't calling for the ball. He was there telling Free what to do. He didn't want the ball, nor should the ball have gone there. And the Adelaide Crows pouncing on that skill error.
So back at the centre bounce, Essler gets the tap out. It's punched forward by McDermott. Essler goes after it again. Now a chance for Campbell. His hand pass was pretty good to Free. Free's kick goes in towards centre half forward, but it's marked all too easily there by Scott Lee, and he'll turn defence into attack. It's a magnificent kick, and he finds Wren with a 45-metre pass. In turn, the hand pass to McDermott. McDermott's kick to full forward. It goes past Hodges and Hogg. Free is there to tidy up. Hand pass away to Scott. Scott with no one to kick to, and he's going to have to go for the safety of the boundary line in front of Simon Tregenza, and a boundary throw-in will take place just forward of centre wing. It's nearly up to half forward, about 95 metres from the Adelaide goal.
And Matthew Knights, who's playing on McDermott, is going to have to tighten up. McDermott's playing inside the corridor. Matthew Knights is trying to play too wide. He's going to have to get inside the corridor.
And trip McGuinness, accidentally. Herman in pursuit. You can see there the frustration of McGuinness with Herman.
Oh, a trip's a trip, basically, isn't it? Whether you trip a person with your foot or you trip him with your hand. Why isn't he reported for that one?
Now we are getting technical. McGuinness, the long kick, Hodges' way. Behind, Hogg gets it down. But there's a free kick against the Crows. Hodges was holding on to Hogg. And again, the advantage of playing in front. Jeff Hogg, and Richmond making a change. Powell coming on, and I'm not much of a coach, am I, because Naish is going off. Ball, centre wing. I did think that at least Naish was trying to play in front at the end of the last quarter.
In due respect to Naish, the way the ball's coming down there, they're kicking the ball up high to a bloke who's the smallest fellow on the ground.
Ball on centre wing. It's Wren who gets it down. Bickley.
But I wouldn't give away your coaching aspirations, Tom.
We are going direct to Adelaide, and he had a fantastic record over there, didn't you, Donny?
Well, the only player who's made the Guinness Book of Records. Senior coach, that is. Not too many have got that honour. Interested
in Essler doing the ruck work there. He's battling very hard for his side as Bremen kicks the ball further forward for the Tigers. But can an umpire pick the front person in the ruck, putting his left arm around the waist
They used to be able to do it.
Is that interference by the front player?
My word, it isn't. They used to be able to pay it, and there are so many of these things go on now in general play and at boundary throw-ins. What do you think, Tim?
I think you're absolutely right, Tom.
Well, we may have another look here, although, it's taken a long time to retrieve that ball. And now we'll have the boundary throw-in in the left forward pocket. It's Wren, but Scott Turner goes straight for the ball, which is terrific stuff. Lee there for the Crows. Handball to Bickley, in turn to McDermott. The tackle by Bremen on Bickley was a little high, and Bickley will receive the free kick in that back pocket. And Bickley for the Adelaide Crows. He's had 13 possessions. He's a very reliable player. And I'd like to see at the end of the year where he figures in their best and fairest award. Nearly a mark there to Scott. It has been paid in the finish. He had 2 or 3 grabs at it. Lindner appealing for the advantage from the umpire, but it will go to Alistair Scott.
I think he might have got it around the neck, actually.
Could have been a free kick, you think? And Scott kicks into the left forward pocket. The mark is taken by Wren.
That was good play then by Jonathan Ross. He pushed Gale underneath the ball, and Gale seems to have hurt his shoulder.
Let's hope he's all right, because he has battled hard at centre-half forward. Lindner. Good handball across to Tregenza. Now the running Maynard chips it in towards centre-half forward as he found his mark. He was looking for Micken. Good handball. That was a great handball from Jarman across to Hart, and Hart in turn has gone goalward. But it's gone across the face, and a single has been registered. That's their 8th point. 68 playing 18.
Kick in, goes in towards the centre-half back area. It's taken by Knights. Handball away to McQueen. McQueen's kick to right half forward. Picked off there by Smart. In turn to Lee. The Adelaide defence is combining brilliantly. Bickley, his kick goes inside 50 metres. Lindner, wonderful mark. And Bruce Lindner will have a chance to shoot for goal from about 50 metres. Gee, it was a great mark, Tim.
Yes, well, the Prez has excited the fans for a number of years with his marking. He's been a little bit inconsistent. He's been back playing in the South Australian Football League, and he's been recalled for this side today, and he'd be very keen to make a big impression today.
Well, Lindner, who's usually a pretty good kick, gets the distance pretty easily, but just hooks it in striving for the extra distance, and it goes out on the full. Graham Corns, and that's Michael Taylor in the foreground there, the assistant coach for the Crows.
In fact, I think the best game I saw Lindner play was in the grand final at half-back.
Yes, he did well in that year, didn't he, at half-back for Geelong. Micken well done from behind, punch down. There's Campbell cleaning up. Centre wing the ball goes. It's a high one. That's Tim Powell, who came off interchange, running on well. That was Gale who sent it on. Lee in front, played serviceable game today, Scott Lee. Back in the back pocket. He played centre wing last week. Bickley running off half-back. Centre ball, the centre it goes. Micken coming in. No, it was Lindner in front on that occasion. It's his second mark. 2 good marks to Bruce Lindner. It's a long way from goal. He'll send it long, though.
Still a good player.
Oh, he's got sticky fingers, hasn't he?
And there's a hole in which Hodges can lead. Yes, and that is his intended mark, but well cut out there by Keys.
Well, he's going to get caught. Gee, he was a bit keen there. Mark taken by McDermott. Runs up to 50 metres. McDermott shot for goal. Touched right on the line there by Jeffrey Hogg. And it's through for a behind. But Chris McDermott, again, a very good player for Adelaide. Already has had 21 possessions, and we've still got just over 2 minutes until half-time. The mark taken by Bauer. Kicks towards the wing, taken by Lennon. Well, if Hodges' mark earlier in the quarter was paid, that should have been paid. His kick has been marked by McQueen. He plays on quickly. His kick towards full forward. Bremen. Good effort by Todd Bremen. And he's taken the mark about 20 metres from goal. Been starved of opportunities, Todd Bremen. He's only had 3 kicks.
He's a very good finisher, Bremen.
Yet to kick a goal. Well, there's only been 2 Richmond goal kickers, Campbell and Jackson, and now Bremen.
Well, Richmond creep a little closer. Wren, who had the sit on that occasion. Liptak running onto it well. Can't get it across to McGuinness. Oh, that's too high. It's against Scott. He realised he did wrong. He's mouthing off in frustration. More at himself than the umpire on that occasion. Now Lindner. It's a beautiful kick. It is magnificent. It's home. Bruce Lindner's first goal. And 9-11-75, the Crows 3-6-24, the Tigers.
Well, you'd have to say it was a great move by Coach Corns. Modra went off the ground. Lindner came on the ground. Hodges went to full forward. He's kicked 3 goals since he went there. Lindner's gone out to the flank and given him a lot of drive with his marking power across half forward.
Always got plenty to say, Bruce Lindner, after having a chat with the runner. Andrew Jarman punches it forward. Chance here for Lennon. Lennon's kick goes towards centre half forward. There's no one there for Richmond. Scott Lee kicks it back towards half forward, but good effort. Yeah, top effort there by Lennon. And he marks at centre half back for Richmond. No one to kick it to, so he transfers play to the far side. Maxfield, he has a good look and then kicks it long. And a good mark taken by Gale. And that's the sort of thing that most Richmond supporters have been used to. And a good lead and mark taken by Bremen.
Well, that's the most positive the Tigers have looked all day. Great use of the body then by Gale to edge Jonathan Ross underneath that ball.
And that is the half-time siren. So the only addition to the scores will be this kick by Todd Bremen, which results in, it looks as though it may be a goal. It is a goal to Richmond. Right on the half-time siren, Todd Bremen kicks his second goal, and Richmond kicked their 4th goal, but they trail by 45 points. Adelaide 11-9-75, Richmond a 4-6-30. Okay, at half-time here at the MCG, Adelaide hold a commanding lead. They're 11-9-75, Richmond 4-6-30. And I've got 2 very, very big names here with me in the commentary this afternoon. What can Richmond do to pull themselves out of the mire as far as this game's concerned? Don and Tim.
Well, you can answer. Okay, I'll go first. Well, I just thought that quarter that they started off all right, didn't they? They had a real go at the ball. They had a dip. And I think that they just need to pick their work rate up. Far too often they get themselves into bad habits. They don't pick their men up around the ground, and then they're not attacking the ball, which comes from perhaps not being confident about your own ability. But
pretty basic, isn't it?
It's very basic stuff, and I think that's what Alan Jeans would be telling them. He'd be saying, look, boys, just get out there, attack the ball, run in numbers. The ball's bouncing around a little bit because of the dry conditions, and you really do need numbers at the ball. If you look at their statistics, the kicks are very even, but the handballs, and Adelaide side really has chopped them up with their constructive use of the handball, Don.
Well, it's a quick handball because a lot of their players are not fleet of foot. You know, I mentioned Jarman and McDermott. There's quite a few of them are not fleet of foot, but what they do is get the ball away very quickly with the hands, and then they set it up, somebody's running past, and they look good.
Yes, they do, and they move the ball very well down the ground.
Well, this round 20, did start in Perth on Friday night, and it resulted in a big win for the West Coast over the Brisbane Bears, and we'll now take a look at some of the highlights from that match.
Opportunity here for the Eagles through Lamb. The hand pass to Mainwaring went astray. Mainwaring off the ground. Here comes the hand pass to McIntosh. McIntosh into an open goal, and great forward play by the Eagles. Out it comes to Pike. Pike gave the hand pass back. This is Lamb. Lamb across to the left-footed Clapway. That's long towards full forward, and a goal. Well done.
High to the 50-metre line it goes. There's Potter trying to get something out of nothing. Pike fumbling. Oh, now over the head. White, was that a throw out? No, said the umpire, but it's Noonan. What has he done? He's drilled it. A good kick by Worsfold. That's the way to do it. Get it into the forward line quickly. Nobody can control it, but it's Evans who comes out with it. Can this be the 100th? He's cracked it.
19 minutes into this third quarter. Hutton tries to get the knockdown. Can't. Pike to Mainwaring. Props, shoots, and scores!
And as I said, a big win for the West Coast. 6 goals to McIntosh and 6 goals to Sumich. And they're rocking along quite nicely, the West Coast, with the finals only 4 or 5 weeks away. We had 4 matches here in Melbourne yesterday, and we'll have some highlights of those matches after this short break.
On their opposition players, but also their rebound across half-back. He said that's where a lot of the forward thrust was starting from, and he said that those players need to keep up that good work here in the second half. Tony Modrell was dragged from the ground for disciplinary reasons. As you mentioned in the call, he was playing from behind. Bruce Linder has come off the bench, and like he did last week against Fitzroy, he's proven to be a valuable contributor. And as you also mentioned, Scotty Hodges does look better there in front of goals. The Crows have actually kicked 32 goals to just 11 in their last game and a half, which is good. They had a sports psychologist speak to them during the week. I don't know what she actually said, but it seems to be working here. Richmond, well, Alan Jeans was very quiet, not much to be said, although the players remain enthusiastic. And interestingly enough, a Richmond supporter stopped me as I went down the race and said Jeff Hogg would play for Collingwood next year. So I don't know how much truth it is in that, but we'll wait and see. And conditions are getting a little bit greyer. We should expect some more rain in the second half.
And it's getting a little cold up here in the commentary position as well. We'll now have a look at some of the individual player statistics up until half-time.
Well, Chris McDermott, like Jarman, gets underneath the packs, especially in the centre there. He's not over-endowed with speed, but he certainly feeds it out. He's had 21 possessions, which is a fine effort to half-time.
His opponent, Matthew Knights, also had 16 possessions up until half-time. They've played pretty wide of each other, and Knights has gone out wide looking for his kicks. McDermott's been more effective staying within the corridor.
Mark Bickley, we mentioned this fellow on half-back. He really has picked up his disposal. He's had 16 till half-time.
So the second half about to start with Adelaide holding a very good advantage, 45 points. Essler gets the tap out and goes after it again. Couldn't quite get it away. McQueen could. His kick to half-forward has been marked by Lee. Scott Lee. You can see the 50-metre line for Richmond just in the background there. His kick goes to the wing. Well done, Scott. A good tussle there between he and Maynard. And Scott is awarded the mark. His kick is high, in towards centre half forward. Gale. Here's a chance now for Campbell, who played very well in the first quarter, not quite so well in the second term. His kick to full forward, punched away from Bremen by Hart. Rebound there, Wiedemann, McDermott, Tregenza, Simon Tregenza, his kick, pretty good. The mark is taken by Liptak, and he plays on quickly. Handball to McDermott. McDermott's kick in towards full forward. Hodges, the player to the left. It was Micken. He was appealing for the pass there from McDermott. Kicked off the ground, goes wide. Chance now for Bauer. Bauer from right half back. His kick goes in near the centre. Gale, totally out of sorts. Wren for the Crows. McDermott, a wonderful gather by McDermott. He's got plenty of time to size up the situation and then passes it in towards the full forward area where Hodges marks on his chest.
Well, that's an indictment of the pressure that Richmond are putting on. In fact, there's none. If you can go back, tend to feed the ball out as McDermott to the right. There were no options, so then had plenty of time to go left. Then spot Hodges with the ball.
It's a bit like an HSC group playing a sixth grade group at the moment. Hodges, his kick for goal is very good, and it's a goal.
Well, that's a start that Richmond didn't want. I'd like the first goal after half-time to at least show something. Now they're breaking from their half-back line. Richmond's not a good kick. That was by Free. Jarman trying to run the ball out. Gee, he dropped that quickly, didn't he? Jamison didn't really want to know about it. He ducked his head, giving away the free kick. And Tim Powell, who started on interchange, has got the free kick for Richmond. Edge of the square.
Powell's often come on the ground and given the Tigers a lot of life.
Jarman dropping well back into that back line. He's held up that Richmond. No, is there a free kick? No, the umpire just marking the spot or the mark.
Well, I think Andrew Jarman apologised to the umpire then because he nearly had the ball taken from him.
Chip. Wren should be paid. Yes, he is paid that mark. Not a long kick, it was more or less like a 9-iron. In golfing terms, Maynard further down the field. Can't control it, and Scott holding on. You can see there, I wish umpires had penalised it. Once upon a time, you'd say to a player, hold me any longer and suffer the consequences. Nowadays, the player's far more tolerant. McGuinness. That's Wren. Richmond have got numbers around the ball. Herman. You can see there the frustration of McGuinness with Herman. And Herman's done a particularly good job on McGuinness because he's only had 4 kicks and 4 handballs and a half of football.
Herman concentrates very well when he tags.
Essler in front. Tries to get the tap down to Knights. Knights couldn't quite control it. Strong at the football, Scott Lee. Away to Maynard. Maynard's kick directly towards goal. It'll land about centre-half forward. It's punched away. Lindner in there. So is Darryl Hart. His hand pass to Hodges. Hodges' kick goes pretty well straight up and under, and Lennon marks at full back for the Tigers. Lennon's kick goes wide. Campbell has had 13 possessions. His kick goes towards centre wing. Nearly the gather to McQueen, who's played pretty well. His first half was quite good. He had 12 kicks and 2 hand passes. Mark McQueen.
Yes, he's picking up Jarman, Robbo. So I suppose you'd say that Jarman's probably shaded him up till half-time anyway.
Yes, Andrew Jarman with 8 kicks and 9 hand passes, and all of those have been quite effective. McDermott working hard, close to the boundary line. And Campbell appealing for the free kick, but the umpire will be forced to bounce in that position. Look at Chris McDermott's possessions. He's a good player. He's always where the action is. Umpire Carey there bouncing, and it'll probably go straight over the line. No, Campbell to Knights. Knights flips it to his own advantage, but chipping in was Bickley. Now McDermott combines with McGuinness, and Herman not very far away. Tim Powell knocks it towards the boundary line. Lindner appealing for the free kick, and he's going to get it.
There was nothing subtle about that, was there?
Lindner well within scoring distance, and you have another look at that, and Tim Powell, no effort whatsoever to keep it inside the arena of play, and Lindner has a shot for goal, and he does a good job too, Bruce Lindner. It's a great kick.
Isla really can't get it down cleanly. That was McQueen getting it out, Bickley chasing it and attacking it quite well. Tregenza, hurried kick. Now they try and clean up and get something going, Richmond, but it's really not clean stuff. Behind Naish. Fortunate on that occasion. Knights. Bit of a shepherd, going to be laid here by Bauer on Tregenza to allow Knights to get away. He's ducking, turning, just cannot get away. There's a free kick. Yes, and the umpire's pinged it. Oh, has he done that hammy? Oh, I think he has, Bauer. Let's see what he's going to do. Bremen, goal, he goes. No, just chopped out. It was Ross just getting a foot to it. And behind play, Bauer seems to be all right. The trainer is out there, the club doctor. So not as bad as what we thought. Lee setting up the short option. They're playing possession football. Now they're endeavouring to run up. It's a 50-metre penalty going against Bremen. And the kick from the centre of the ground. There's the mark. Scott Lee.
See, I wonder about that decision.
Out wide he goes. Hart giving run off that half-back line. Really puts pressure on the forwards if you can run. Backman can run like that. Lindner has got a chance again. He just couldn't bring it back. It was coming back. And that is the 11th point. No, the 10th point for the Crows. 88 playing 31. As we've already mentioned, Bruce Lindner has been a real headache since coming on.
Hogg kicks it back into play for Richmond. The mark is taken by Micken just outside 50 metres. Short passes on, drops it in short, and courage by McDermott. Confronted with a situation there where he knew someone had to come from behind, but he's taken a very good mark.
And you just have to pick up your man in that situation. Knights is going forward. You've just got to make sure that you are on McDermott.
McDermott from 35 metres. Beautiful kick by Chris McDermott. It's a goal.
Now, the Crows really starting to go away with this game. Carrying on from where they left off last week. Quite pathetic the week before against Richmond. Against Melbourne. They lost at home.
That was a throw, Don.
Pretty impressive last week. And as Tim just spotted a throw. It's going Herman's way. Herman in the centre of the ground. Centre half forward. Bremen in front. There's Campbell. Ooh, nearly had his head taken off. He tried to duck that. There's McDermott once again. Does cover a lot of ground. Hart, now they're on the run. Wiedemann long. That's the way a forward likes to deliver the ball. A little bit out in front and quickly into the forward line. Free, number 30 for Richmond. Tony having all sorts of trouble today. Just can't get it away cleanly. Battles on hard, but that's a throw. Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Pretty soft free kick, that one.
Free is at right half back for the Tigers. He's battled very hard, but gee, Richmond, they look hapless at the moment. There's a good mark taken by Brendan Gale. He plays on quickly, kicks it near the centre of the ground where Essler falls over, tries to get the hand pass to the advantage of his teammate. This time it's Campbell. Campbell's kick into the pocket. It's punched away from Hogg quite easily by Ross. Taken away by Jamieson. Jamieson's kick in towards centre-half forward. Micken gathers it. The bounce was very favourable. Around onto the left foot. The kick out in front, and it's marked. Gee, this is pedestrian stuff by Adelaide. And Richmond supporters at this football ground here today must feel very, very dejected.
You surprised at Mark Micken, the way he's handled centre-half forward, Tim?
Well, I've seen him a couple of times out there this year, and he's done particularly well at centre-half forward.
Lindner's kick for goal. He's disappointed, and it's through for a behind. He's kicked 2 goals too, Bruce Lindner, in that scoreline of 14-11. The Crows with an unassailable lead, 64 points, as Hogg prepares to kick it back into play for the Tigers.
I don't think he's a long-term answer to centre-half forward, but he does give them a target to aim the ball to.
Well, I'm surprised because he made his name as a ruckman, and it's probably the hardest position on the ground to play centre-half forward, but he's acquitted himself well. Now Richmond getting the break through Herman. Can't set anything up. That was cut out by Jarman. He'll find somebody. Hodges on the lead, just chopped out. That was Free putting his body in courageously because Hodges was really on the run on that occasion and could have cleaned him up. Esler showing skill. Hogg, well done. The wing it goes. And taking that for Richmond was McQueen. Figured in the first half, McQueen. Powell up high. Ross running it well with handball. Bickley. Another handball. Look at the gaps. Oh, really, these holes. Jarman. He delivers the ball well to Hodges, who has to sit once again. And Hogg in front, but just caught in that position where you really can do nothing on the outcome of the way the ball is going to be delivered or taken. He's already kicked 4 since going there after 2 dubious free kicks which resulted in goal. Taken a mark down the other end, which was a goal, and this time he's put it through for another, so that's his 5th.
Adelaide go marching on. They lead by 70 points. Bounce back in the centre, favours Wren. Gets it down towards McDermott, but it's taken away by Wiedemann. Oh, again, pretty ordinary free kick.
Oh.
Certainly was there, but
I don't think I would have liked to have been Wiedemann.
Tough as old boots, Wiedemann. Hogg, handball over the top. Maxfield, in turn to Bauer. Bauer's little kick is very ordinary. It's out on the full. The free kick to be taken for Adelaide by Scott Lee.
That's just another skill error.
Now Lee is right on the centre wing area, down in front of the commentary position. His kick goes up near the 50-metre line. Micken tries to stand his ground. Punched on by Hart. Attempted kick off the ground by Lindner was unsuccessful. Micken in there again, tries to tap it to the advantage of Lindner. Lindner reasonably well held in there by Scott, and the umpire will be forced to bounce about 40 metres from the Adelaide goal.
And I wonder if it isn't time to put perhaps Tony Free onto the ball. He did make his name as an AFL player, as a ruck rover ball player, and really he's not going to stop much being back down there in the back pocket.
Micken the ruck work. Under 13 minutes left in the third quarter. Tregenza. Oh, hard at the football. Knights still close to the boundary line, and Matthew Knights does reasonably well, but can't take the football away. Bauer was underneath. Essler tries to get it to Knights. Chopped off by Lee, who's been terrific across that back line, and his kick has been marked by Tregenza very close to the boundary line. Tregenza, short kick. McDermott must think it's a picnic. His kick to the front of the square is an excellent kick. Hodges can't mark. Free. A little kick goes back towards the half-forward position. Maynard, strong, tries to get it to the advantage of Hodges. Now Jarman. Little kick off the ground by Campbell. Goes in towards centre-half back. The rambling Wren. Knights, Essler, Herman, and he does pretty well, Ian Herman. His high kick goes in towards centre-half forward for the Tigers.
And clears Ross and Gale. Hard onto it. Well done. Tregenza. Harassed by Powell. Ball over the line.
Hart shows a lot of poise for a young player, doesn't he?
He is just fantastic. He really does. It's a horrible word, potential. But boy, Fred, no, a teenager, he's doing exceptionally well in his first year of AFL football. Wiedemann, quick hands. Bickley. Micken in front on this occasion. Honeybun gets a fist to it. Freeze running with the ball. Again, sees it over the boundary line. Be thrown in and in front of the Crows interchange or bench. Micken and Honeybun, centre half back, centre half forward, doing the ruck work. In actual fact, those two have made their names as ruckmen. But in today's football, you must be versatile. Could have an interesting debate about versatility in football. Coaches nowadays seem to be preoccupied with moving players around, trying to fill up weaknesses and getting something out of them when they're moved. There's Free. Hart in there. Nobody can get it out. Jamison in hard. And a show of strength.
The Crows
Scott went down over the top.
Don, the Crows, they just want that ball a little bit more, don't they? They really are attacking the ball ferociously still.
Well, football's pretty basic, Tim, isn't it? You've got to get the ball. When you get it, you do something with it. But you've also got to pay the compliment to the opposition. You must stop them getting the ball and doing something with it. High ball by Wiedemann. Hodges and Hogg. Now Richmond will try and run it out. This is McQueen. Centre wing he goes. But in front, Bickley. They do it well. Disciplined play. There's Maynard up around midfield. Made his name as a centre half back. Liptak off the ground, but it has gone over the boundary line. Nowhere near the scoring zone.
Well, Liptak's been picked up by Maxfield now. I really like the way he plays the attack. He attacks the ball. He attacks the crumbs. He's always there when the ball spills in the forward line.
There's another amazing thing about football. When your confidence is down, the bounce of the ball will never go your way. And Richmond, well, they've been completely outplayed, I know, but here's a chance for Daryl Hart from 35 metres. Daryl Hart, I think he's kicked another one. Well, the Crows will get the ball clear. Andrew Jarman's hand pass to Wiedemann, and Wiedemann's kick from pretty well a standing start was a good one. Jamison, Daryl Hart, out to McGuinness, can't get past Knights, back to Hart, back to McGuinness, and McGuinness with a little bit of space, bit of a mongrel punt kick in towards full forward, chopped off there by Hogg, and his quick kick finds the safety of the boundary line for the Tigers.
And you really have to applaud the job that Herman has done on McGuinness, because the Adelaide Crows have controlled the ball for most of the game and around the ground, and still McGuinness has been a quiet player.
Yes, only 11 possessions to Tony McGuinness, and Keys doing the ruck work. Pays is on the ground for the Crows. McGuinness, McDermott, McGuinness. And that's not a bad kick by Tony McGuinness with his right foot in towards centre half forward. Chance here for Tregenza. His quick kick to full forward. No mark taken. Oh, look, they can raffle that. Jamison, easily done. Just so straightforward. Jamison kicks his second goal. And the Crows, well, it really is an exercise gallop in racing terms for the Adelaide Crows. Their fans are pretty happy as we have another look at Jamison kicking this goal.
This is indicative of the way the Crows have played. There you see the first 5 players that came into frame then were Adelaide Crows players running hard at the crumb.
I don't know what Richmond can salvage from this game. Would they be a little bit more impressive than what they are showing? Micken, not a good hit out. I don't know if he meant it to go there. I don't think he did. That was Knights getting an easy clearance from the centre square. Hart hitting the ball well, keeping it in front of him. Well done, Ben Hart. Across to Wiedemann. Now they run it out. Smart, combining with Tregenza. Now across to McDermott, doing it easily. Hodges behind, ball to ground. Maxfield quickly. Well done, Jamison. Found space. Hart, will he put it through? Could have gone onto the right foot. Now he's going everywhere but the right way. That's about all Jarman could do, was slap it on the boot. It's a high ball and it's being rushed through for another behind.
And Don, when Jarman did kick the ball to the goal front, there were 3 Crows players to 1 Richmond player.
They were still there, weren't they? I was thinking actually whilst they were bringing the ball down the ground that you don't do it that easy at training.
It is incredible.
Good mark. He's battled hard. He has battled hard. That's Esler. Now this is Scott. Mace in front of Lee, but well done, Scott Lee. He just got a fist to that. Desperate play. Campbell. Oh, well, where did he come from? That was fantastic by Lee because he got the fist to it earlier, then followed up and cleared. Oh, that's terrific play. Maynard.
That kick then was by Payes, who's just come on the ground, Don.
He's desperate, isn't he, Scott Lee? High ball, into a pack it goes. Linda the fly. Richmond cleaning up. That was Herman. And Keys receiving the Bronx cheers from the Richmond supporters. Centre wing, he sends it. Campbell is his target and finds him. Nobody around him from the Crows. An easy kick up in Tim Powell's direction. Started as the backman. Powell now finds himself as a forward. Always seems to save himself or play well for the New South Wales State of Origin games.
Yes, he hasn't touched much of the ball since he came on the ground. I think Alan Jeans would be bitterly disappointed in this display because although you can accept that your team may be down in skill, you'd still want them to be competitive, and I don't think they've been at all competitive for 3 quarters or most of the 3 quarters.
Well, this young man has had a real go at it. Scott Turner, now a chance for Jackson. His hand pass goes back to Campbell. Campbell with possession number 20. Kicks for goal. Oh, it's very close. No, just across the face. And through for a behind to the Tigers.
And the other, I suppose the other side of the coin is that Graham Corns would have to be very happy with the way the Adelaide Crows have played. They've attacked the ball, they've been vigorous, they've run in packs, and they really are starting to find some form at this end of the season.
Well, we saw them play a couple of weeks ago against, I think it was Melbourne, and Melbourne towed them over in Adelaide. And since then they beat Fitzroy quite convincingly. And now they're heading for a big victory here against the Tigers.
Well, they were severely questioned in the preceding week leading up to the Fitzroy game. Consequently, it was an aggressive Adelaide that came out last week. That should be a free kick.
Was it 50 metres? Because
no,
the mark was a certainty, wasn't it?
I wouldn't pay it 50 metres.
He was committed.
He was committed, and it was really a pretty soft free anyway. He really could have done a lot more damage, Bauer, if he really wanted to.
He could have poleaxed him, couldn't he?
You watch this. He really could have kept going. It's pretty token. Just the hands out. If you're going to hit someone, your feet stay on the ground and you just keep running in a straight line.
And I think I'd award a mark to Scott Hodges there. It was a fantastic effort. He held on to it all the way to the ground.
Now Hodges. It's gone right across the face of the big sticks. But he is leading a lot more confidently, Hodges.
And what a pass then by Linda too. In the perfect slot.
In actual fact, that's his first point for the game, Scott Hodges.
19-13 plays 4-10. The kick in. 3 Crows to 1 Richmond player, and again the crumbs are picked up, this time by Tregenza. McDermott about to swoop on it. Bauer underneath all of that. And held in there by Liptak. Scott, the Richmond player. The umpire forced to bounce once again. We've got just under a minute left in the third term. So Richmond, a very, very poor third quarter. They started at 4-6. They're now at 4-10. Adelaide Crows have just gone marching on. They were 11-9 at half-time, so they've kicked 8 goals for in this third quarter. Kick up towards half-forward. Punched away by Ross. He's very quick to recover. Handball is back to Lee. Ever so simply. Micken. Even further forward to Wiedemann. Wiedemann. Jarman. Running nicely. Full forward, and a good diving mark taken by Hodges. And again, complimentary stuff. They've kept it right in front of goal. So the shot that Scott Hodges has is a relatively simple shot.
Jarman on the end of the handball. That's a beautiful pass then into the hole in front of Scott Hodges.
Scott Hodges has kicked 6. There's the siren as the rain tumbles down even heavier here at the MCG. Hodges, a chance for his 7th goal. It's very close. It is a behind. 6 goals, 2 to Scott Hodges. So at 3/4 time, Adelaide lead quite convincingly. It's a 94-point advantage, 19-14 to 4-10.
Yes, Robbo, conditions down here aren't very good at the moment, although as I speak it is easing. Let's hope it does get a little better. Graham Corns is still happy with his team, as you'd expect. The Crows are actually heading towards the biggest win of their career, so that's something good for the Adelaide fans. And incidentally, Scott Hodges has now become the Crows' leading goal kicker this year. His 6 goals have taken him to the lead in our goal kicking award. As you'd expect, Alan Jeans, well, what can he tell his team? He's getting some vocal support from the crowd here, and they're not saying too many nice things. But as I say, to concentrate on the positives, the Crows perhaps heading for their record-breaking win.
Well, it certainly is a big turnaround from 2 or 3 weeks ago when they played Melbourne over at Football Park, when Melbourne beat them quite convincingly. We'll have a progressive score from the Sydney Cricket Ground, and that looks like being a tight finish at the moment. The Sydney Swans leading by 8 points over Carlton. So the last quarter coming up here at the MCG, and the only area of doubt is the margin, Tim.
Yes, and or whether or not the rain will stop. I mean, there's probably only 2 things that are left to be answered here.
But who could pick football winners, Tim? I mean, I wouldn't have picked that game up in Sydney. And there he is. He is very, very vocal. And I think someone's going to get up and talk to him. That is Graham Bergen. Now, I wouldn't go tackle with Graham Bergen. He was a pretty tough half back in the 60s, my friend, over the fence. There he is, Graham. You can only played so much.
Well, he'd be sick of it.
I think he's going to hand his membership in.
I think he's going to rip it up.
The police are coming in. He hasn't done anything wrong. I mean, he pays his money. He's entitled to voice his opinion, and he's very, very disappointed, along with many, many Richmond supporters here this afternoon.
He might be best served by going home, though, Don. Putting his feet up, putting the kettle on, making himself a cup of coffee, and settling in for the Olympics later.
But that's what makes football so great, isn't it?
So the last quarter about to start. We've got 30 minutes in which the Tigers can maybe salvage something. The Crows, well, they lead quite convincingly, the 94-point margin for the Adelaide side. Through comes McDermott for possession number 34, up towards full forward. Darryl Hart crumbing. The ball very awkward now to control. Kick off the ground by Lindner, went back towards the about 60 metres from goal. Jamison, too easily. His kick in towards full forward. Hodges can't quite take the mark. Now back there is Maxfield. Maxfield's kick will be marked by Powell. No, he drops a sitter. Inexplicable. Hand pass over the top. Naish. Powell. Slippery ball. Bickley. Maynard over the top. Pays falls over. In there is Campbell. Naish gives the hand pass in the finish to Campbell, and Campbell's kick in short has been marked by Esler.
Well, this rain could make this game a debacle, because it's going to be very hard to handle this wet ball. High ball by Campbell. Centre wing it goes. Nobody can get it but Scott Lee, anticipating that it come off the hands of the pack behind. Cleans up for the Crows. Wiedemann in there. Powell. And this is Ross shepherding for Pays. Pays gets the ball away, but he was over the boundary line. The umpire has got to come in and throw it in. Peter.
Sorry, John. Players will have to adjust their games now. The ball and the ground is very wet. There's no time to finesse and trying to get around a player. Already players are losing their footing.
In conditions when it starts to rain, it's usually the fellow that runs second that is rewarded. That's McGuinness. There's a sliding mark. That's taken by Scott, was it? No, Bruce Lennon. I'm sorry, Bruce. My apologies. The former Sturt player goes in towards the centre. Scott Hodges, well done for the full forward to come up and chop out Hoya, who was on the lead.
Make a crumb.
Now they do that so well, don't they? Look at that. Darryl Hart. Something they obviously practice. And that's his 4th goal, Hart.
Yes, there was an opportunist goal then. It's going to be very difficult to mark that one with the wet ball. The Adelaide Crow player doing the right thing, making a crumb. And as we've seen all day, the forwards in the Adelaide forward line being prepared to run. Get there.
They practice that, Tim? Do you think they practice that crumbing at training? Because they do it so well, don't they?
Well, I think most sides practice it. They just seem to do it, well, they've done it better today than I've seen sides do it for a while.
Well, Adelaide kicked their 20th goal, Darryl Hart's 4th goal. And I was just noting there that of 21 players in the leading goal kickers in the AFL, there is not one Adelaide player that figures in that list, and it goes down to 34 goals. We heard John Casey mention that Scott Hodges with 6 goals has become the Adelaide side's leading goal scorer for the season. So maybe that is an area where they can look for improvement if they're going to be a force in the AFL in the future. The ball goes back towards centre wing where Bickley hand passes away to Pays. Pays is kicked up towards full forward. Hodges at the back. Could that be paid? He's had 2 or 3 grabs at it. No, the umpire calls play on. Lindner's kick across his body. He doesn't quite hook the ball far enough, and it goes through for a behind. 3 goals through to Bruce Lindner after starting the match on the interchange bench. 2015 plays 4-10.
There's another interesting thing about this game is that the Richmond side has been touted as a young side, but when you look at the average ages of both sides, we've got the Richmond average at 23 and the Adelaide Crows at 24, so they're not really a young side, the Richmond team.
Some of those players have had a lot of miles in the leg in the Crows team. Tregenza chips the ball to centre half forward and by himself Jarman. This is bad marking. Look at that. That is incredible marking. A real lack of concentration by the Richmond players.
And perhaps that one will be edited out this week by the coach and shown to his players as Liptak limps off the ground.
Coming on is Modra, who was sent off in disgrace in the second quarter for playing from behind. And he's going up forward. Gale, I thought he's tried hard at centre half forward, Brendan Gale. Jackson and Smart giving chase, but the ball beats them.
Yeah, well, Brendan Gale, I think with his right shoulder very heavily strapped, must have started the game with a bit of a question mark fitness-wise.
Yes, but they definitely need their taller players, don't they, the Richmond side? But he's been swung from half back to half forward. He's tried hard, but he hasn't had a real bearing on this game.
Jackson and Keys have been disappointing for the Tigers. They've been completely out of it. And Esler, who's been a great battler, close to the boundary line, slipping and sliding. He takes it over, so we'll have another boundary throw in.
If he could work on his skills on both sides of his body, he really would overcome his lack of quickness. On that occasion, he had to turn back because he wasn't adept on the left-hand side of his body. So he's got a little bit of work to do, but there's something there.
Well, he's had 9 marks, 4 kicks, 9 hand passes and 13 hit-outs, Esler. Chris McDermott gets his foot to the ball. He's going to get a free kick. His kick was probably classed as ineffective, but now this one certainly will be an effective possession. And he kicks it fairly well in towards centre half forward. Excellent mark. Push out against Maynard, but controlled the wet ball pretty well, but the free kick goes to Scott. Scott goes wider still to Hogg. Hogg, who's run up from fullback. His kick goes near the centre of the ground. Smart tries to tap it to the advantage of Tregenza. Gathers the awkward ball himself. Then he's held by the leg. And certainly an obvious free kick to Nigel Smart.
And Richmond have moved Knights out of the centre away from McDermott. He's gone to a half-forward flank, and now Campbell is trailing McDermott.
Smart to centre half forward. There's the big fellow we were talking about before, Esler. Off the ground he goes. Best socket it. Well done, Bruce Lindner, to find somebody out wide. And that was Tregenza. Forward pocket, he sends the ball, and Hogg in front.
Oh, great mark.
Putting the pressure on Hodges by running up the ground. Hodges cut it out once before, but Hogg turned it over just a little while ago. Now Richmond combining. This is Bauer across to Maxfield. Around the outer side they go. Ross gets it away, but sells Maynard into a lot of trouble. Follows up well, Ross, then tries to get the handball away, but that was smothered by Turner. You can see their players throwing themselves in desperately, and that's against Gale, and that's going to Mickham.
And down on boundary level, John Casey, what's happened to Matthew Liptak?
Yes, Robert, Matthew Liptak has a ankle injury, his right ankle. The doctors had a quick look, and they're now putting it in bandages, but I doubt whether we're going to see him again, and it's not looking good for Matthew Liptak.
Lindner, he's got Hodges on the lead, but it's not a good kick because Hodges had to hesitate and allowed Hogg to get up to him. But the ball will be brushed over the line. Another rush behind to the Crows. It's their 17th behind for the day. 137 playing 34.
Jeffrey Hogg goes to the far side of the ground. Esler in front, can't control it. Maynard's a chance. Lindner tries to tap it to the advantage of McDermott. It's picked off there by Bauer. Bauer's kick has been marked by Powell, and I think Tim Powell has got a bit more ability than he shows sometimes, and he kicks Richmond into their forward half. Jackson from behind. Smart, who has been miserly with his chances that he's allowed the Richmond forwards. There's a kick in, being marked by Bremen, coming from Campbell. Bremen is the leading goal scorer for Richmond. Well, you wouldn't have to have kicked too many goals, would you? They've only kicked 4, of which Bremen has kicked 2. Now, Bremen is kicking from about 40 metres. And it goes right into the square, but it's nearly marked. Yes, it's been paid. Good effort by Micken. Put himself in front. He really was a Trojan when he played with the Brisbane Bears. And he does a very good job for Adelaide when he gets a game for the Crows. His hand pass goes to Hart. Hart, in turn, finds Tregenza in the right back pocket.
Well, his career was revitalised, Micken, after he had that calf compaction syndrome up in Brisbane. But since having it operated on, he's a much better player. Here he is in front again, Micken. Takes the mark. Last year's best and fairest winner at the Crows. McDermott. This is Ross. Gets his kick away, but really, Knights is going to take this. It's not to the advantage of his team, because there was nobody up there. Knights screws that around his body, and that was fortunate. It landed in the hands of Naish, who goes on quickly. The Crows really haven't got that degree of urgency with the advantage they got on the scoreboard.
This is very difficult for a coach to expect his side to continue on the same way when there is this gap in the scores.
Campbell's already kicked the 1 goal. 1 goal, 1 today. Kicked his goal in the second quarter, and he's kicked 1. Has he? Yes, he has.
97 points the margin in favour of Adelaide. Some ironical cheers from the Richmond fans as they kick their first goal, as Tim has just mentioned during the break, since half-time. Maxfield. Lindner takes the mark just in front of the wing. Campbell, the man on the mark. Bruce Lindner, you can see the rain coming down pretty steadily now to Melbourne Cricket Ground. Bruce Lindner's kick up towards Hodges, taken by Maynard, taken very well by Rodney Maynard, and nearly marked by Modra. It's in that left forward pocket, hurried over the boundary line, so we'll have a throw in the forward pocket for Adelaide.
And a statistic that really tells the story is the centre bounce clearance, 15 to the Adelaide Crows and 7 to Essendon, Richmond.
Free, kicks it back towards the 50-metre line, taken by Pays, in turn to Hart. Hart's kick is very good, gets good distance, and it's hurried away by the Richmond defence for another boundary throw-in.
Tim Powell's been taken off the ground. Livingston. That's Tim Livingston coming on. And I suppose they could have taken a number of players off Richmond at this stage because they haven't had too many contributors. Number 2 there, Terry Keys. Hasn't had too many possessions today. In fact, he's really been sided. McDermott, did he throw it? And again, the ball to be thrown in.
Well, Don, I've heard of a tit for tat, but never a Tim for a Tim. Could that be something that's going to be used now in the English language?
Tim Livingston for Tim Powell.
I'm pondering.
Gee whiz. We really are struggling, aren't we, with the Adelaide Crows leading by this huge margin. Pretty well into the last quarter of the game.
And Keys in front. Maynard. He's got the free kick, Maynard, because you can see there. What? I wonder what that was for. Maybe it was shepherding when the ball was not in the vicinity, but Keys really did infringe. That's Campbell. There's Scott Lee once again.
Scott Lee,
strong player.
Definitely in their best players today. He's given them a lot of drive from half back, and also Richmond have put 3 different opponents on the half-forward flank, and he's beaten them all.
Big leap by Scott Turner over the back. That's Maynard across to Lee, who's injured himself too, Lee. There's Hart. You could hear the calls. Darryl. Wanted it down in front. But he's been paid the free kick. Darryl Hart, right in the centre of the MCG. What's he got on? He's got Wiedemann, who's come up from half-back. That's good play. I always love to see those half-backs prepared to run, and Adelaide have got them. Maynard does it. And now this fellow might catch the disease of running deep into the forward line. A mean-looking customer is Wayne Wiedemann. The Viking. Big left foot kick. Right into the goal square. And a mark. No, there's a free kick going to be paid. Now it's against the Crow. I didn't see which Crow it was, but it's going to Keys. There was a push out. And Keys will relieve for Richmond. Ball in Essler direction. Well done by Micken to punch it down and keep it running towards goal. Well attacked by Hodges. Over the left shoulder he goes. It's home.
Well, we were told that they were going for their highest victory in the AFL. They now lead by 103 points. And they look like building even further. Darryl Hart from left half forward. The kick across his body, good. Lindner dives, couldn't take the mark. Hodges is in the action again. Taken away by Bauer for Richmond. The left back pocket area. The hand pass a little awkward, but gathered nicely by Campbell. Looked to give it off again. Then the short pass has been marked by Jeffrey Hogg. And he would be about 55 metres from the Crows' goal. He kicks it further away, in towards the centre of the ground. A big punch by Smart from the back. Scott Turner, tackled by Jamison. Jarman's a chance. He leaves it for Smart. Smart's hand pass. OK, Darryl Hart. Plenty of space. Kick in towards the full forward area. Marked is taken by Hodges. He's kicked 7. So Scott Hodges now the opportunity to kick his 8th goal. Short pass. Oh, well done there by Keys. Whacking it away from McDermott. And a rush behind to the Crows.
When Hart had that ball, there would have 5 players from the Adelaide Crows who are on their own in the forward line.
Keys. Out to Bauer. Nobody around Bauer. He can do what he likes with the ball. He goes long in Jackson territory. Smart. About all he could do in that situation. Wiedemann. Bickley. A high ball. Not going to help the players out down the ground. Nobody control it or bring it down. That's Naish. Cops one high from Lindner. He'll be paid the free kick. You can see that on screen. Peter Carey right there. Had no alternative but to pay that to Naish. Chris Naish out to Esler. Handballs across to Campbell, who looks for... Was that Bremen? No, he was looking for Gale. And it'll be all the players over the boundary line. It's only 30 metres from goal. Left forward flank for Richmond. They trail by 104 points. There's Jackson, a high one. Hoping on the edge of the square it goes. Gale in front. I think he might be favouring his shoulder the way he looked then. Now the ball to be thrown in their right forward pocket. It's Richmond's right forward pocket. There's Gale on screen. You heard his shoulder earlier in the game.
He looks a little bit distressed, doesn't he?
Boundary throw in. Scott Turner in front. Punched away. Bickley there for the Crows. His kick goes back towards the half-back area. Taken away there by Pays. His quick kick. And it may be all right in the finish. Close to the boundary line. The players slipping there, Keys and Modra. And we'll have a boundary throw in on centre wing.
I was watching the players a moment ago, Robbo, coming through the centre ground area where the cricket wickets are. And it's very bare in there. Now they've had a bit of rain on it. It's just like a skating rink.
Very difficult now. Micken does well. Esler does equally as well. McDermott takes it away for the Crows up towards the half-forward region. Jarman, lovely little kick. Darryl Hart, he's going for goal number 5, Darryl Hart, and he loves them, doesn't he?
And Micken out of the centre. Hart kicked the last goal. Jarman, who set it up, gets it. This is Pays, off the ground. About all you can do. Hogg in front on this occasion. You can see there the shiny ball. Very, very difficult to control. Now, let's hope the umpires are not going to pay that as deliberate. No, they're not, but they're going to pay a free kick anyway because it went over the boundary line on the full.
So hit a lady sitting in the first row of seats right smack in the face.
Not an easy ball to control. You can see that kick from Hogg. The big pack fly, the fist from Keys, the ironic cheers, the Bronx cheers coming from these Richmond supporters. They're very, very disappointed with their team's effort today. 111 points a margin here at the MCG. Oh. Well, the picture tells the story.
They can't make many more mistakes, Tim, could they?
Well, I've seen as many mistakes in the last 2 days. I watched Essendon here yesterday against Hawthorn, and today really it would have been a great contest, the Essendon-Richmond game, given both sides form this weekend.
Now Hart. Can this be the 23rd goal for the Crows? It is. And he has now kicked 6 goals. That's probably his best tally in AFL football.
But certainly is a bit of a race between Hodges and Daryl Hart. Hodges with 7 and Daryl Hart now with 6 for the leading goal scorer for the Crows this afternoon.
Yes, there was a good bit of concentration there by Hart to mark that one, going back with the one hand, and perhaps Hogg should have elected to kick the ball, get some yardage with his kick in these conditions.
The bounce in the centre that favours the Crows again. Maynard, Herman for Richmond. He's done pretty well. He's had the job tagging Tony McGuinness, and he's done it quite admirably. Ben Hart, Knights. Bremen may get another one here. Oh, he really fainted for the free kick there. Ben Hart over the top, the umpire having nothing of it.
Yeah,
really was a...
He just went to play for the free kick, didn't he? In today's football, the guys, the best ones in the forward line are the guys that don't try and jump on the ball, but try and hit the ball back into some sort of space, creating something for the guy coming through.
Umpire throwing the ball straight in the air. Nigel Smart finding difficulty there in getting the ball further forward for the Crows. Boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Richmond. We've got 7 minutes left in this game, and it certainly has been a good performance by Adelaide, but fairly ordinary from a Richmond supporter's point of view.
Ball being disputed. Tackle on Smart. There's Gale. Again, he gets thrown out by Pays. Pays going in, and these conditions not really helping. Oh, he's really hurt himself, Gale, too. I don't know whether it's his shoulder or leg. No, he seems to be holding that right arm. You can see that very limply, the right shoulder. And now that's the club doctor, I think, out with him. Yes, it is. Just seeing if he's all right. Micken gets it down. Off the ground goes Bickley. Scott running onto it. There's a lot of Crows around that ball. That's indicative of the way they've played. They've got numbers around the ball. Pays. Look at Jarman by himself. There's nobody around him for 20 metres. But what can he do? Anything he wants, and this time he just spots Hodges. It's a cakewalk. Hodges has kicked 7. Good day for him, having started on the half-forward flank. The umpire right underneath this, and that is his 8th goal.
163 plays 40, 5 3/4 minutes left. And I was going to say for the Richmond supporters to put up with, but I'd say most of them would have left the ground. Been a very, very disappointing performance by Richmond, but an equally as impressive performance from the Adelaide Crows. Richmond force it forward to right half forward, 1 against 3 at the back. Livingston gets it to Matthew Knights. Matthew Knights may kick a goal. He does. Well done, Matthew. And Matthew Knights kicks Richmond's 6th goal. 24-19, plays 6-10 as the Tigers make a change. It looked inevitable. Brendan Gale having lots of trouble, and he's been replaced by Tim Powell.
Yes, that goal being created there by an intelligent knock-on by Bremen, and Matthew Knights finding a little bit of space for himself in the forward line. He appears to be limping also.
Once again, they were jeers, not cheers, from the Richmond side, Richmond supporters. Not happy with their team's effort today. Wiedemann in the square. Left foot, normally the right foot kick. Out to Hart. Been given a lot of latitude by Free. Look, got plenty of time. He goes back onto the left foot and he just sets it up, but Hodges can't take it. Trying to get a kick was Modra. Ball hard to handle. You can see how shiny it is from the rain. That's McGuinness. Can't hold it, Maynard. Then tries to get rid of that player in Scott. There's Jarman. I don't know whether he handballed it. And well cut out. This is Herman. He's battled hard today, Ian Herman, the former Carlton player. Knights in front of Lee on this occasion. And the ball to be thrown in centre wing. Knights appealing for over the line on the full. He's looking for the free kick, but the umpire wouldn't be kind.
I think Herman, in fact, has been Richmond's best player today. He's been their only real winner. He's beaten Tony McGuinness.
Well, McGuinness has had 15 possessions and Herman 14. Again, the umpire had to throw that out, but a player got it out, and there's McGuinness. But there's a free kick. Bickley holding on to Nace just a little too long on that occasion after the ball had cleared the area. And Nace has received a free kick.
Just his 7th kick coming up, Chris Nash. and he kicks it into the right half forward area. The mark is taken for Richmond by Livingston. He's 50 metres from goal, so it'll be quite difficult for him to score. And he gives it a good roost. It's going to land right in the square. Chance here for Campbell. He's kicked a goal by the look of it, Wayne Campbell. He has. So that's his third goal, and he becomes Richmond's leading goal scorer. Todd Bremen has kicked 2, but more importantly for the Tigers, they kicked their 7th, and this kick by Livingston was a good one.
It was a great play then by Jackson. He punched the ball back down, and that's exactly where the Richmond players had to be. Campbell made the ground and picked that ball up off the ground for a belated goal for the Tigers.
He's played well, Wayne Campbell. He's had 28 possessions, and 3 goals certainly makes his performance a creditable one for the Tigers. Here's McGuinness running onto it beautifully. He's kicked towards full forward. Hogger's there, helped out by Lennon. Lennon's kick across the face of goal has been marked there by Free.
Free back pocket. Takes the ball further around the fence. Now Richmond will relieve through half back. There's Jackson using body. Firstly on Smart, should have been more occupied with the ball. Bickley. Not a good kick for the forwards. Maybe that's the pressure that they've been put under further down the ground. You can see their heart putting pressure on McQueen. Players pick themselves up rather slowly.
Bickley's been a good player too. He doesn't mind getting the ball onto his boot, does he? Gets it right down the ground, always trying for yardage with his kicks.
Well done by Micken. The craftsman at work. It's Turner who's battled hard today, Scott Turner. Across to McQueen. McQueen centre wing. Looks for Jackson. No, the ball goes right through his hands. But is the mark being paid? No, obviously a free kick to Jackson, who Smart holding on to him after the ball had gone. He's got Maxwell short if he wants him, Jackson.
Why wouldn't he go with the handball here to Maxfield?
He's trying to kick a goal, I think.
Ball high, pack underneath it. Here's Knights running onto it. This looks like a goal to Powell, but well cut out. That was Scott Lee who did that terrific smother. Desperate stuff by Lee. He's done some terrific things today.
Nearly give him a vote, I'd reckon. Scott Lee's been like the Rock of Gibraltar.
I liked his effort. I think it was in the second quarter, where he punched it out near centre wing, then followed up and figured in play once again.
Campbell's kick. It's been marked by Turner. And he's done a pretty good job for Richmond as well. Scott Turner, 12 kicks, 5 hand passes.
He's battled hard all day.
Just the fact that he always looks as though he's persisting, doesn't he?
He's always moving and trying to create something. Yes.
I just feel that maybe a lot of his other Richmond teammates have taken the same attitude into this game. Well, the scores may be a little closer. Turner's shot for goal. Well, he lets himself down a little bit there and just registers a behind for Richmond. 7-11 plays 24-19. That's a 110-point advantage for Adelaide, and we're under the minute left in the game.
You'd have to be a masochist to sit right through this, wouldn't you? Cold winter's afternoon at the MCG.
Aren't you lucky there's a paycheck in the mail? The kick goes in towards half-back. Ross. Hand pass is not bad. Pays. Little left foot kick to the wing. It goes through those players. Bickley running still very, very hard at the football. Ooh. Down goes the Richmond player. It looks like Free. And the umpire will award a free kick there to Tony Free. A lot of frees in that. And, oh, you see there the left shin of Mark Bickley making contact with Tony Free's head. Maynard, McDermott coming up for possession number 41, 42, as the siren sounds to put the Richmond fans out of their misery. The Adelaide fans back there in South Australia certainly happy with that result. Adelaide winning by 110 points, 24-19, 163. Richmond 7-11, 53. And Scott Hodges, the leading goal scorer for the day, kicking 8. Darryl Hart kicked 6. Bruce Lindner kicked 3. Jamison kicked 2. And for Richmond, Wayne Campbell kicked 3. And Todd Bremen kicked 2 goals.
And Alan Jeans walking down there'll be plenty of worries in that Richmond camp. There's Graham Corns. He'd be happy. You can see there the smile. Brisbane offering his congratulations. He'd have nothing much to pick about his players. Esler tried pretty hard, Tim.
Yes, he did try very hard, but it was just a weight of numbers, wasn't it? Adelaide Crows, far too many people. We've got John Casey down there with Captain Chris McDermott.
Yes, thanks very much, Robbo. Chris, the Crows' biggest win ever, so that must be pleasing, particularly after last week as well.
Yeah, certainly pleasing to have 2 good wins on end. The last quarter was a little bit disappointing, although the conditions probably didn't favour good footy, but it's certainly nice to put 2 good wins on end, and hopefully we can finish the season off on the right note.
Makes a difference when you get someone up front, a target to aim to. Today it was Scott Hodges, 7 goals, a great performance.
Yeah, certainly played very well. Led hard, and I mean, that's all you've got to do. There's fairly wide open spaces here, and he led, and it made it a lot easier for the blokes up the field to deliver the ball to him, and he certainly finished off the play. And with Darryl Hart up there, who complements him very well, and of course Mark Micken, who probably doesn't get the stats that the other 2 do, but he's the general up there, and he's played a great part in the game too.
And just quickly, we had the good doctor come in and say a few words during the week, the sports psychologist. Has that paid off?
I'll leave that one to your imagination. I think, I think it was just a realisation that, one win doesn't make a season and doesn't make you a good side. We had the win against Hawthorn, and I think we lost our direction a little bit after that game, and it was just a matter of us refocusing on what's important, and the competition's so tough, you just got to play well week in, week out. All the best for next week against Brisbane.
So Adelaide winning quite convincingly here at the MCG by 110 points, 24-19 for Richmond 7-11.